Welcome to the Rewards Master. Today I want to talk to you about a way to rack up points and miles that is just kind of overlooked. It's forgotten and it's not really talked about in the community. But to me, it's one of the best kept secrets that there are. So if you would hit the like and subscribe button, and let's dive into this secret, powerful method together. Okay, what we're talking about today is the United MileagePlus X app. Now, not everybody flies United. I'm not big on United anymore. I flew on them for years. I had a lot of status with them for years. I'm about close to 500,000 miles with them in my lifetime. But I switched several years ago. Now I fly Delta and primarily I fly American. But I don't think that their miles, United miles, are the best out there either. And when you look, they're not as good as American miles. They're way better than Delta, but they're not as good as some of the foreign transfer partners if you want to get business and first class tickets, which is kind of what I focus on here on my channel. So why am I talking about the United Miles and the United MileagePlus X app? Because even if a miles currency is not what I would consider the best, if it gives me value, and especially if I can rack up a lot of points in addition to my credit card points and just kind of triple or quadruple dip those points, then I'm going to dive all in. Now, when it comes to United Miles, I do find value in them because if you want to get a business class ticket over to Europe, you're probably looking at around 80,000 points, which is kind of at the upper end of the threshold that I look for. A lot of times I'm trying to get 70,000 or better with things like Aeroplan or Flying Blue Points, something like that. But you can still get very good flights on Star Alliance partners at that 80,000 point threshold, or sometimes up to 88,000 points, which isn't great, but it's not terrible. And it's still within kind of that range that I consider to be a pretty good value. So United Miles, they're all right. They're not the best. They're not the worst. So why would I be focusing on this? Well, the second thing that's important for us to kind of talk about if we're going to really evaluate this is there are other ways for you to earn points by dining out particularly, although the MileagePlus X app is not just about dining out. But when it comes to dining out, that's what I use the app for the most. And so you say, yeah, but they're, United and Delta, they have dining programs. Bilt has a big time dining program now. And American Airlines, I love their dining program. I've used it a lot. So why would we be focusing on this if these points aren't as good and arguably aren't as good as American points, or especially not Bilt points that are transferable, and some of the other dining programs? So why would I even be looking at this? Well, it's because all of those other programs are extremely limited as far as where and when you can use them. I don't live in a big city. If you live in New York City, the Bilt dining program is just great. But, that's a very small population of the United States that lives in New York City. And perhaps maybe half the country lives in one of the larger cities where Bilt dining has a bunch of restaurants. For a while, American Airlines, their dining program, which is really good. You can get 3 points per dollar at their restaurants. And then when you, I think, go to maybe 12 restaurants, at that point you can get maybe 5 points per dollar, which is great because American miles are great. They're even better than United miles for sure. So why would I be talking about this? Well, because in a smaller community, and I don't live in a tiny community, but I live in a smaller community, there are no Bilt restaurants within a 2-hour drive of where I am, and there are no American Airlines dining restaurants within a couple-hour drive of where I am. Now, there used to be a few you could do some takeout with American, but they took those away. So there's nothing. So where I eat at all the time, day in and day out, they just aren't there. And on those programs, you're not going to find things like Texas Roadhouse, Outback. You're not going to find chain restaurants like Chili's. You're going to find the mom and pop type restaurants. You're going to find the local restaurants, which sometimes, yeah, it can be argued those are better. But if you don't have the option of those things, well, what are you going to use to get outsized value? Well, I'll tell you what you're going to use. You're going to use the United MileagePlus app because, wow, It has dozens, if not maybe over 100 different restaurants on there, and not just restaurants. It has great retailers as well. Now, how the program works is on the MileagePlus app, you download the app, you put in your United number, and then you plug in a few credit cards. And it cross compares the cards that you have with your United account. So if they're on your United account, they're also going to be on the app. And so I always pick the right card. So you can put in, I just know the last 4 digits of my card numbers, so I can choose them in the app when I'm going different places. So I choose a card that gives me a great reward in that category. So for instance, in dining, I'm always using my Citi Prestige card because I get 5X on dining. Now you might say, yeah, but that's a gift card, because that's how the MileagePlus X app works. You buy an instant gift card for the amount you need, and you use that gift card wherever you're eating or wherever you're shopping, and you pay for it with that gift card. It works seamlessly. I have used this for over 10 years. It works seamlessly. I have had maybe 2 issues in 10 years. So it just really works well. So I'll pick that, and you say, yeah, but that's a gift card. Is that going to code? Well, I'll give you the trick here. With Citi, with Chase, the restaurants code as restaurants, even though they are gift cards. So yes, I'm getting the 5X with my Citi Prestige. Now with American Express, I don't use American Express for this because I had some trouble with the gold card early on not coding as a restaurant. So just kind of dismiss American Express cards with this. But with my Citi Prestige, if I'm buying a gift card to a restaurant and using it, and I do it instantly. I mean, when they bring me the bill, I figure out how much what it is and how much I want to pay, even including the tax and the tip, and then I just put in that amount. If it's $65.12, I put in that amount. It brings me back in about 30 seconds time a gift card with a barcode for that amount of money. I just give it to the server, they scan it, put in the little PIN code, boom, transaction's over. I just got my 5X on my credit card for dining, and then I got an extra bonus in United Miles, so I double dipped there. Now, different places have different earning rates. So they have a bunch of restaurants that are at 5X. That means I'm getting the 5X on my card, and I'm getting 5X more United Miles. They have a bunch at 4X, they have a bunch at 3X, and then they have some things at like 1X and even a few at half a point each. But still, it's extra points. So it is a great way for people who don't live in communities with all of these Built Dining or American Airlines or United or whatever other dining program you want to use to be able to get outsized value and points on a regular basis. Now, what I really love about it is there are so many options on there. There are so many places. And I know I sound excited about this because I don't understand why more people aren't talking about this. I hardly ever hear about it at all in the rewards space. But to me, I have earned literally tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of points over the last 10 years using this app, and gotten some great business class redemptions because of it. So let me just give you some examples. So at 5X, there are quite a few restaurants on the list. There are things like BJ's and Black Angus and Saltgrass Steakhouse. There are things like Krispy Kreme donuts. And so you have all these different, and that's not even the whole list, all these different restaurants that are giving you 5 miles more in addition to your credit card points. There are also places you can shop that do the exact same thing. You can get your oil changed at Jiffy Lube and get 5 times more United Miles in addition to your credit card rewards. You can go shop at JCPenney's or at Belk. You can order flowers for your mom on Mother's Day at 1-800-Flowers. And there's a whole list of other ones. Now, there's also a great list of 4X partners. In restaurants, you got things like Texas Roadhouse and Logan's Roadhouse. You got things like McAllister's Deli, Blimpie's, Jersey Mike's, McAllister's, just a whole bunch of other things. And then what I really like about it is there, in the shopping category, there are things like Cinemark. You can go to the movies and get 4X on top of your credit card rewards. And then really all the movie theaters are on there, it seems like, in one form or another with different reward structures. I think AMC is at 3X. So There are so many, pretty much most places you shop, if they're a big company, now this doesn't work for local restaurants and small little home-ton places, but if you're shopping at some big retailer or big restaurant chain, it's very, very likely you're going to earn extra with the United MileagePlus X app. So I just use it all the time. And I mean, think about it. What if you had a card that gave you 10x airline miles on every purchase? Well, you would use that everywhere. Well, through this app, you kind of do. I mean, your card may not get 5x like mine does, but let's say it gets 3x with a Chase card on dining, and you're getting 5x or 4x. You're getting 7 to 8 times the points on every single transaction you make. This is a very, very powerful app that is just underrated, not discussed, flies under the radar, and I don't know why. So if you've not used it, you might try it. Download it, doesn't cost anything. Download it, connect it to your United mileage number, and just see how it works, because I'm telling you, it takes about 20 to 30 seconds extra time. I just bought a bunch of stuff for our house. I used the Citi Custom Cash to get 5x at stores that sell home improvement stuff. You know, we shopped a little bit at Lowe's, a little bit at Home Depot, and both Lowe's and Home Depot. Now, they only give 1 United mile per dollar, but that was 1 extra, and we spent quite a bit of money. So I got the 5x on my Citi Custom Cash. I got 1x with United, so that bumped my return up to 6x. So you can do that so many places. So I encourage you, try it out. Look at the MileagePlus X app. I think it's the most underrated thing in the credit card game. And I hope this is a blessing to you and a benefit, and it really, really outsizes your rewards. So if you would, if this was helpful to you, I appreciate it if you'd hit the like and subscribe button. I also have channel memberships at $2.99 a month. You can cancel anytime. And I kind of release my videos early for those members. And I also have special redemption videos that I put there. If you'd like to support the channel in that way, I'd appreciate it. There's a link in the description. But thank you for being here. If you haven't tried out the MileagePlus X app, it's going to give you a lot more miles, especially if you're in a place where you can't use those other dining programs. So thank you. We'll see you here next time.